The expert assessed the consequences of launching a DPRK rocket, always towards Japan. Konstantin Asmolov made a forecast about the upcoming negotiations of the Northerners with Trump on the nuclear program. North Korea launched another military missile just a day after announcing the resumption of denuclearization talks with the United States. According to preliminary data, a ballistic missile was launched towards Japan from the DPRK military base near the port of Wonsan in the southeast of the country. This act violates UN resolutions prohibiting Pyongyang from launching ballistic missiles, and also jeopardizes the possibility of resuming negotiations with the US side on the North Korean nuclear program. The South Korean National Security Council has expressed strong concern about the next launch of a North Korean submarine-launched ballistic missile. North Korea launched from the east coast on Wednesday, probably from a submarine, said the South Korean military. The incident occurred just a day after the announcement of the resumption of negotiations on a nuclear program between the DPRK and the United States. An immediate protest over the incident was also expressed in Tokyo, saying that since November 2017, North Korean missiles have not fallen so close to the sea border with Japan. According to the Japanese military, North Korea launched a ballistic missile from the east coast and fell into the waters of the Sea of Japan in the exclusive economic zone of Japan off its northwest coast. Taro Kono, the country's defense minister, described the incident as a serious threat to national security, adding that the shell was located near the Japanese Special Economic Zone in Shimane Prefecture, which poses a serious threat to ships and aircraft. Tokyo and Seoul hope for support from Washington. It is worth emphasizing that the incident occurred just a day after Pyongyang announced that it agreed to continue negotiations with the United States. This launch was the ninth since U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un held their first bilateral summit in June 2018. Arrangements for the DPRK's nuclear and missile programs were never reached. In particular, the issue of America's sanction pressure became a stumbling block in February. The White House rejected Pyongyang's demands for easing sanctions in exchange for refusing nuclear tests. Meanwhile, the United States insists on resuming the dialogue on ensuring security in the region. We urge the DPRK to refrain from provocations. The types of missiles are being specified. This is the 11th launch in a year. In addition, these launches just always go towards Japan. Most of the tests, relatively speaking, should be started clockwise just to find out some key parameters, said Konstantin Asmolov, a leading researcher at the Center for Korean Studies at the Institute of Far East Studies, Russian Academy of Sciences. According to the expert, in this way the Northerners raise rates before the upcoming negotiations with the Americans. If the assumption that the DPRK launched not a short-range missile, but a ballistic missile from a submarine, the moratorium will be violated. The first working meeting on October 4-5 is a much more important event than a missile launch, if of course it takes place. The parties will seek some kind of mutually acceptable consensus or imitation of violent activity. Both Trump and Kim are pragmatists and are interested in the current state lasting longer. It is clear that Trump would like for the North to become denuclearized. And the North would like the sanctions to be lifted or relaxed. In fact, it will most likely be about symbolic actions and concessions. If Kim may not look back on public opinion, then Trump is forced to take into account internal criticism, and in this situation he should not go for actions that his political opponents will perceive as concessions to the tyrannical regime, even if in reality they are not concessions. If they had not started the impeachment,